you got to print. We just have to print. So I hope we don't lose that anymore. I hope we're coming back to it because it's something I'm very much a believer in. So
before my grandmother passed away, one of my favorite people in my life, my wife, quote unquote, made her come in.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma was flattered on one hand, and on the other hand, I think she was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
going
it.
on?
Yeah.
And for it was like half hour, 45 minutes. And the image from that session is, I can't describe it. It's one of the best things
priceless
I have.
Yeah.
I know. And I see it all the time, and every time I see it, I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah,
now.
It makes you smile.
Yeah.
And you can share it with your kids because your kids didn't have the relationship.
They don't know who she is, except to them, that's who she is.
And see,
Yep.
it's just not the same. So yeah, printing is super important.
Yeah, it's hitting me right now.
How
important it is.
And here it comes.
I didn't know this was going to be a ball fest.
Crybabies.
I don't have
what kind of podcast
anywhere.
is this? Bunch of crybabies.
I'm glad it's not. I'm glad this isn't being videotaped.
No kidding. That's what I thought too. I was going to check my teeth because I just ate and I thought, nah, it's not video.
Nobody can hear that lettuce.
Oh yeah, so you're good.
We have to make ourselves laugh so we don't fall into this weep fest.
I know.
I did think it was interesting though. I think I wrote this down, so I hope that this really happened. But you mentioned a print movement. What is this print movement that you speak of?
Yeah, so I'm super involved with PPA.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our objectives from the board and that staff, PPA staff has been so, instrumental in, and actually Mike Hanline, being on the board with him and with a lot of the industry people have come together, and it's the print movement. And, you see hashtag Prints Matter.
Yes. We
have the print programming and everything's right in the trade show here at Imaging. I got asked to do a video recently, and that's on the website, the print movement, but it's just all about teaching people, educating people, talking about the importance of it, talking about, supporting, all the, like I said, industry people coming together, labs, frame companies, album companies, whatever, to bring prints back. Remember how I brought Sexy back a couple years ago?
I do remember that.
Now I'm bringing prints back. Same. It's kind of the same, but not exactly the same. So, but it's a print movement. And if you look it up, but it's all there's a lot of information about it on the PPA website. If you go to PPA.com. Yeah.
I'm struck by that also in relation to our stories about our own family portraits, because I remember when my wife was trying to make that happen, that I was a little, I don't know, reluctant or, oh, really? We don't want to bother her, and we don't want to. And I think that was just my stuff, right? That
it was
because I didn't bother her.
Yeah.
And even if I bothered her a little bit, it's okay.
It is
because I wasn't trying to bother her.
Right.
That wasn't my MO.
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't my wife's MO. And so I feel as though, certainly in hindsight, that I feel it very confident and comfortable saying, do it anyway. Right?
Don't wait until.
Well, because then there is no.
Because one day
not
there
there
is
anymore.
No. Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's anything. And certainly we have, my grandmother, oh my gosh, no one will ever love me as much as my grandmother. She was my number one fan. I don't care what I did. It was freaking sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns.
Same. We might have the same grandmother.
We're probably related.
Yeah.
But my gosh, and we didn't do it.
Yeah.
We didn't do it.
Yeah.
She was self-conscious, and it was that until she just hated it, and we never made her, and we never did it. It's one of my I don't have a lot of regrets.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot, but gosh dang, what I wouldn't do
to have that
for that.
Yep.
And for my kids don't know her, and we have little candid things here and there, but what I wouldn't do. So my grandfather, that was one of when I one of the first things, like
You
when
did that.
we did. I have one of my grandfather,
Yeah.
beautiful portraits of my grandfather,
Yeah.
and they mean so much. But what I wouldn't do to go back and have that of my grandmother.
Well, and my grandfathers were both gone before we really got
Right.
into the biz, and I do think about that,
Mm-hmm.
and because really I don't have a lot of photos of either one of them
Yeah.
anyway, and so I have what's in my mind,
Yeah.
and to have photos, just a really great, just one.
Mhm.
I don't need 40,
No.
but just to have that one that really got them.
Yeah.
You know,
And our history, like our family history, I mean, and when it leaves with you.
Yeah.
Like, so it won't be there for your kids to share one
Right.
day. And
Right.
I mean, don't you remember, I don't know about you, but like being little and going to my grandmother's house, and she loved pictures and
Yep.
sitting and going through the albums and the and she loved to frame an 8x10 more than anybody. Like she had the wall of 8x10s, every school picture,
Yeah.
but it was just, I loved looking, and she would talk about her family and point
Yes.
people out. And
Yes.
who does that anymore?
I know it.
I mean, look at this. Isn't
Right.
you look at your
As
phone,
you're
you swipe,
swiping,
swipe, swipe,
right,
swipe,
Right.
That's
Then
you
true.
accidentally get a date and it's awkward. I've never actually used Tinder, but every time I do that, I think, oh, dang it.
I feel terrible
Now
because
I got to meet him at Starbucks.
I feel terrible because of course I've never going to use Tinder.
I know.
But I hear people talking about it, and I think that just sounds
kinda
so
wanna look a
bizarre
little
and
bit.
crazy, and I want to just try it out to see what
I
the
do
experience
too.
is like. But I'm married, and that's not going to work out.
That's
so well.
inappropriate.
Yes, that's our official stance. So don't do that.
I feel the same way, but I would never do it. But gosh, I kind of want to. I don't know why.
I do too, just because it's just
I
different.
don't know. I'm that person.
And I think, well, I'm not young anymore either. so
Well,
it
and then
doesn't
there's that. They would be hugely disappointed.
Oh, it would all be about catfishing for me. He looks an awful lot like Brad Pitt from 1997.
Yep. Is that your profile picture or a Photoshop document?
Oh,
boy.
man. See, we had to do that again to come
out of our
the
headspace, yeah.
emotion.
Yes.
We use humor for levity just to make ourselves
Laughter
laugh.
makes you happy, though.
Yes. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching this conversation presented by White House Custom Color on YouTube. Be sure to check out our other content and click that subscribe button right there. Right. Right there. It's there somewhere.